morning, fellow Nigerians, and welcome to another episode of the Sunday Show on AIT. It is the first edition of the show in the year 2025, and I can gladly say Happy New Year to you. Through the year 2024, you kept faith in us, kept in touch, making contributions to the show in various ways. It is a partnership we place so much value upon. Our commitment is to ensure we serve you with quality information, analysis, and entertainment, helping you make quality and profitable decisions where the need arises. I am Obi Ajuru Iwirumo, your host and anchor for today's show. Makwen is also here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. We made it.
Yes, we did, with all the challenges.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all of us. I am actually tempted to release some prophecies into the new year, but I am yet to receive my divine call.
Pastor, right on.
Indeed, the year 2024, like other years, came with its own challenges and opportunities. Even though many would say the challenges of the year were somehow some steps ahead of others, considering the outrageous rise in cost of living, spearheaded by the fuel subsidy removal, as well as other factors. While battling with the daily challenges emanating from some government policies and actions, not forgetting the challenges the ordinary Nigerians brought upon fellow citizens, and of course, the Sunday show remained resilient and provide us thought-provoking topics to help us make some meaning out of the situations. And of course, the show today will not be an exception.
True. It has been identified as a silent killer, rightly so. That is what makes it a topic of choice. Also known as the #1 cause of death, accounting for 17.5 million deaths annually. It is the almighty cardiovascular disease, with high blood pressure being the leading risk component.
Perhaps out of every 10 Nigerians that are of adult age, one can testify of knowing someone who had passed without hearing that the person was sick, had an accident, or suffered a terminal disease. This appears to be the mode of operation of the disease. A recent study found that heart attacks in people aged 25 to 44 increased to 30% compared to the expected number over the first 2 years of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Other statistics obtained from reputable sources are simply frightening. Not to talk of the stories we hear or incidences we witness within our societies today. For want of time, we shall be introducing our guest, a seasoned cardiologist, who will help us understand these challenges and ways to combat it. In the meantime, let's refresh our minds with some news of the week.
Welcome back. Remember, you are still watching your show, our show, The Sunday Show on AIT. It's now time for us to take you to the interactive session with our guests. And what I want you to do is to stay tuned. Do not move a muscle.
Grab your seats and join us on the most fascinating 60-minute infotainment journey, showing on your favorite TV channel, Africa Independent Television, AIT. Analysis on topical national issues, news, sports, and entertainment are on the menu. It's a show you do not want to miss. It is The Sunday Show.
It's still the Sunday Show, and as you can see, we are out of the studio this moment, and we're here with someone very special. And today, as we discuss the sudden death, is just becoming very alarming in Nigeria. Cardiac-related deaths is what we are discussing today, and we have the opportunity to talk to Dr. Alatishe Olalekan, who is the consultant, nephrologist, transplant physician, founder, CEO, Zenith Medical and Kidney Center. Glad to join.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Yes. So, Doctor, I want to start with you letting us into know the causes of the surge in sudden death in Nigeria.
Thank you. Yes, it's true. There's been a surge in sudden death in Nigeria. And of course, most of them are they are due to cardiovascular events when, for some reasons, the heart stops beating. There are three common types of these cardiovascular events that I think the general public should know. There's a one called myocardial infarction. That's when the heart vessels supplying the heart get blocked, get obstructed to an extent that the heart muscles don't get enough blood supply, and so the heart, we call it heart attack. That's the commonest. The second one is the common causes of cardiovascular events is when you have what we call a stroke. These ones could be due to the pressures in the vessels being so high, and then they burst, and so the brain stops getting blood supply. And you know that the blood supply, the blood flow to the various parts of our body is what carries nutrients, oxygen to these various tissues, and they are the ones that keep us alive. While the third one, which is also very common, is what we call pulmonary embolism. These three cardiovascular...
Doctor, you need to break the last one down.
Okay, pulmonary embolism is when, for some reason, clots form in any part of our body, and they go obstruct vital organs. Those clots now travel from different parts of the body and go and obstruct vital organs like what you can have in the heart, in the lungs, and in various parts of the body. So we call that pulmonary, especially when they get to the lungs and the clot vessels. We call it pulmonary embolism. Suddenly, the person is not able to breathe, and then blood pressure begins to drop, the heart rate begins to go high. And so these are the three common cardiovascular events. And it is true that they have been on the rise in our environment. Part of the reasons, I will mention them. Number one, I will put things like the lifestyle. Our lifestyle has changed. We've suddenly adopted Western lifestyle. Gone are the days when when we were growing up in the 60s, 70s, when we were growing up, it was common to see everyone, family members, eat freshly cooked food in the house. But now we are all going junk food because of we have to work. For some reasons, we are not at home. Both in the family, the husband and wife, they are busy working. They are not able to get freshly cooked meals anymore. So we're now eating fast food. And these fast foods have very high salt content. They have very high salt, even industrial salt, Maggi and the rest of them in high quantities. And so we all know that these salts will help increase our blood pressure over time. And this is one of the things that we have adopted. People eating this, and these junk foods have very high cholesterol content. And these are the things that we should be looking at. People don't cook freshly made foods in the house anymore. They are dependent on junk food, which has very high salt intake, high cholesterol intake, and then, of course, the salt intake over time increases our blood pressure. Cholesterol, we know what it narrows our blood vessels. And so now, over time, these things I'm talking about is something that takes a while to build, So over time, they cause these cardiovascular events. Again, the other thing in terms of lifestyle, we don't exercise. Unlike what you have in some parts of the world where people have bicycle culture. In Europe, you see a lot of them ride bicycle, they walk very good distance. I agree.
Roads
are not designed to accommodate that.
Even bicycle along the current roads we have.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You could even get kidnapped.
Yes.
So I mean, there are so many reasons why.
In the UK, you have walkways.
Walkway.
You have
Bicycle
way. You have car way. You have way for wheelchairs.
Yeah. The one I think we can do, we can all have some exercise devices in our various homes, or register in a nearby gym, such that you go there 3 to 4 times in a week and spend 45 minutes, 1 hour there doing exercises. I think that will go a long way. Remember that they also have in the West, they have parks that adults can go to and take a walk. The children can use scooters and all that. These are things that help, Then we've also, of course, the rate at which we take fizzy drinks, Coke, Fanta and all that has increased. When I was growing up as a child, we only had these things, we were only privileged on special days. Christmas. Thank you. But now, thank you, ma. But now what you see, regular daily basis, children, even from childhood, children go to school with these drinks in their lunch pack.
Yes.
So these are the challenges.
And meanwhile, the parent feels he or she is doing the child a special treatment.
Oh yes.
By
giving them such things. In fact, I have a personal experience. There was a time when we got back from the UK, and then I said, "Well, you guys are schooling here now. Let's have you get fruits and water to school." After a few days, my son was completely different from others. And he said, "Look, I won't take this thing to school anymore because I'm the only one bringing this thing to school. They think your parents are poor." So, and you in those environments, you have them, now they recognize that there's a surge in cardiovascular events. They're ensuring that children are no longer obese. They are giving them 5 different fruits. They feed them with different fruits, feeding programs in school. And they ban parents from bringing those fizzy drinks, those cake, shawarma, and pizzas to school. That's what exactly is happening, because they have the data. They saw that this thing is becoming a problem, a public health problem, and they're addressing it. But we are not doing that.
You talked about exercises. I think it's important for the viewer to understand the advantages and what these exercises go a long way to do in the person's, as an individual, in his body.
Oh yes. When we exercise regularly, the heart tends to pump better, and it distributes. It helps to help blood circulation in your body. When you do that and your heart rate goes higher, it helps pump blood to the various parts of your body, and then it helps to make sure that we are not also obese. We are active, not sedentary lifestyle. Yes, in terms of jobs that some people do now, you find out that in terms of what they do, they will live a sedentary life. But there are a lot I'll give an example of jobs where you just sit down all day, like judges.
Editors, judges,
CEOs,
secretaries, CEOs.
just have meetings all day, and when they close, rather than go to the gym or what, what happens? The car is just parked at the entrance. They walk into the car, they drive home, they drive them close to the entrance of their homes. They get in, they have, of course, they close very late, they have a heavy meal, and they go to bed. That is a typical example of sedentary lifestyle that we think everyone should be worried about.
Doctor, you are also a CEO.
Avoid
So how do
sedentary
you
lifestyle.
cope with this seat? I see that there are so many visuals here to see what is going on in the hospital.
It's tough. There are days that you even wake up, you don't even have all the energy to go to the gym. And then you start receiving calls very early in the morning about your patients. And because the way we are trained, we worry more first about our patients. And then you now have to step out of the home earlier than you should. So you skip exercises. But what I've learned to do differently is to make sure that my weekends, I make sure that I incorporate these exercises, Saturdays. Exactly. You're right.
The weekend is also not free.
Absolutely.
Doctor, as I round off this section with you, because we still need to meet the cardiologist. And,
there are more reasons why this has been on the rise.
Yes.
I've mentioned sedentary lifestyle. I will quickly rush through the other ones.
Okay.
The other one is stress. There has been an increase in the rate of stress all over the world. COVID came, post-COVID, jobs are lost, economies are, livelihoods are lost, and so people are trying to meet up with day-to-day demand. And then so they are having to do more jobs, spend more time working. So it increases our stress level. Insecurity increases our stress level. These are all things that tells on the heart. The other one is, apart from this stress level, is also financial reasons.
Yeah.
You know that hypertension is a clear-cut issue that is there's a risk factor for developing these cardiovascular events. Mm-hmm. Why will the pressures go very high if you're hypertensive when you're not able to afford the drugs? So the cost of these medications have gone up in an astronomical fact level. And so you now see that people are not able to afford their blood pressure medications anymore. And so they are not taking it regularly.
They're not being checked too.
And they are not able to even afford to get to the hospital to get these things checked. And so blood pressures go very high and they develop stroke in the process. So then finally, I will talk about psychosocial drugs. Again, this is also part of the economic crisis that we have. When people are not able to afford basic needs, they get depressed, they go into alcoholism, they go into smoking, they smoke more when they are stressed up. Then psychosocial drugs, cocaine, heroin, and all these marijuana, they all increase our blood pressure. And so when people take these drugs, young people take them, they can develop a stroke suddenly. So these are all interwoven, and these are all part of the reasons why we are seeing an increase in a surge in the prevalence of cardiovascular deaths.
Apart from all these, from the recommendation of exercise to manage this kind of situation, what other cheap means or what other cheap ways can an average Nigerian who may not have the economic capacity to handle these medical challenges, how can he manage this on the interim? Part of what they can do
without having to spend so much is for us to go back to the good old days when we ate healthy food. I guess those ones are even cheaper than the fast food.
Yes.
So that culture should come back. Let parents feed their children, mothers feed their children with cooked food in the house, and then give them less of fast food. That is the first step, and then that way we avoid having high salt content, high industrial salt, Maggi, and the rest of them. We have to take that less, and then they are feeding at home, and then we stay away from junk food. That's the first thing that we can do. We can also make sure that we keep preaching to our young ones to stay away from drugs. Then, of course, it is not expensive to register in a gym. Anyone around you, or even if you're not registered, you could buy some of these devices and keep in a corner in your house.
Or if your environment is safe, you can just take walks.
Or if you live in an estate, you can take a walk in your estate. You can ride your bicycle even in your estate, depending on how safe the environment is. So there are so many things that we can do to bring that. And then, of course, In terms of the medications, there's very little for those who have hypertension. That one, I don't think we have ready-made answers. Just all I would say is that we should prioritize your medications. As you buy food, if you are able to afford food, you should also have a budget for your day-to-day medications. That way, and of course, there are cheaper brands of these drugs that we can all can take.
Doctor, on a lighter mood, this is going to make you laugh. My question is there possibility of cardiac arrest during sex, whether it is enhanced or not enhanced?
Yeah,
because
it's
a lot
actually funny.
a lot of men today wants to please their women, whether wife or girlfriend. So,
Yes, that's risky. Because we have a very poor health-seeking behavior. Again, it's not all the time that is due to poverty. Some people can afford good yearly health check. A robust health check, especially when we are growing older. We should be able to check this, check your blood pressure, check your blood sugar. If you have any heart-related ailment, get it checked and get it treated. So because we're not doing this, as people grow into their middle age, become elderly, then these things can happen. They can have a sudden heart attack while they're having sex, because sexual intercourse on its own is a form of exercise. It's another pressure. It can make you can, and then sometimes some men would take performance-enhancing medications to enhance erection during sex, and then in the process, their blood pressure goes high, and then they have a sudden heart attack during sex, and that can be devastating. The other reason why these deaths are on the rise, which we're not taking account of, which we're not talking about, is that when these events happen, when you have someone who has just had a heart attack, it could happen in their homes, it could happen in their offices, it could happen during an event, anything that is stressful, or during sex, like you rightly said. Not too many of us are interested in acquiring the basic life support training. It is not meant for doctors alone. It's not meant for health workers, not for nurses, not for health workers. Every Nigerian needs to get some degree of training, just basic training, basic life support training, so that when these things happen, somebody is good at just compressing the heart, making sure that there is still the heart, pressure to the heart, so that the heart is beating.
Somebody is driving and you begin to have such feeling of heart attack. What is the person supposed to do? I watched a video, which I would prefer you to talk about.
People talk about applying pressure to the heart and getting
deeply,
and getting
tummy,
down. These are all the training that we talk about. So I think I would advise that every Nigerian should get basic training. When these things happen, if you're able to support the heart to the hospital, then we are fine. But in the situation where you're not able to give any support to the heart, by the time the person is getting to the hospital, he's dead. You can't get him back. Once your blood flow stops, you don't get blood flow to the brain, within few minutes, it's over. So if we can just give that support, basic life support, till the person gets to the hospital, then the chances that the person can survive is there.
Even when the person is driving and you're in a traffic like Lagos.
It's a very difficult one. We don't have these emergency services where an helicopter can just come and then airlift you straight to the hospital. Unfortunately, we don't have that. But these are all the things.
We could just make do with what we have.
Exactly.
If you find somebody or somebody happens to be in that kind of situation and you're there, the best you can do is to do what you can do.
Yes, mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, and then the compression to the heart.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you
for the opportunity.
Now you've heard it from the expert himself. It is clear we owe ourselves some duty to at least keep this silent killer at bay. We shall now proceed with the entertainment and sports. Please, still stay tuned on The Sunday Show.
Grab your seats and join us on the most fascinating 60-minute infotainment journey, showing on your favorite TV channel, Africa Independent Television, AIT. Analysis on topical national issues, news, sports, and entertainment are on the menu. It's a show you do not want to miss. It is The Sunday Show.
Hello and welcome to the year 2025. Happy New Year to you. It's another package of the Vibes and Views segment on the Sunday Show. You're welcome.
We're all here together at the Tafawa Balewa Square to do the countdown into the year 2025.
Residents of Lagos and lovers of showbiz converged on the iconic Tafawa Balewa Square, TBS Lagos, on the eve of New Year to usher in the year 2025 in grand style. The fun seekers, led by the state governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, had come together to celebrate the annual Greater Lagos Countdown.
It's been a year that has shown that if we are together, if we bond together, we can succeed together. Happy New Year 2025.
To spice up the night, Nigerian music stars and comic acts Kenny Black, Sheyi Vibes, Funny Bone, Adekunle Gold, Nice, Tiwa Savage, Runtown, Adewale Ayuba thrilled the people to back-to-back electrifying songs.
Cause I am looking for someone to satisfy me, looking for someone to love me completely.
The tempo of the TBS arena was high when Afrobeat stars Olamide, Wizkid and Burna Boy were called upstage to perform. The Lagos Countdown Music Fiesta held amid tight security presence. And that's why I packaged for you on the Vibes and Views segment on the Sunday Show. I am Anu Awojabi saying Happy New Year.
Hello and welcome to the Sunday Show. I am Lai Lawal. The Netherlands' Caroline Groot returned in a time of 35.59 seconds to claim the first gold medal in 2024 Paralympic. The 26-year-old Netherlands cyclist emerged the winner of the C500 time trial cycling event. Frances Bartoliet Marie finished second in 36.7 seconds, while Kate O'Brien placed third, returning in 37.37 seconds. Away from the Paralympics, Nigeria's senior women's basketball team, the Tigresses, are now ranked 8th in the world after a fantastic outing at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. The Tigresses jumped 4 places to 8th in the latest ranking after their performance at the Paris Games. They have made history by becoming the first African nation, either male or female, to rank in the top 10 of the FIBA Women's Basketball ranking. Staying with basketball, one of the most recognizable jerseys in sports history will soon hit the bidding block as LeBron James' St. Vincent St. Mary's High School's jersey looks to fetch millions at auction in Hong Kong in September. The jersey was worn by the NBA great during one of the most memorable Sports Illustrated front cover shoots titled The Chosen One. Photographed by Michael Lebrecht, James can be seen wearing the number 23 jersey while palming the basketball. Nigeria is currently at its lowest point in sports, having recently returned from the Paris Olympic Games empty-handed. Football lovers are also experiencing damped enthusiasm following the Super Eagles' dismal performance in the qualifying games for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, resulting in the resignation of coach Finidi George. But the appointment of German tactician Bruno Labbadia as the new Elsman seems not to lift hopes and expectations.
I will tell you, I'm not even excited about it because this is what they ought to have done long ago.
Pleasant surprise, coming late, but they say better late than never.
The Super Eagles have been without a coach since Finidi stepped down on the 15th of June after a run of poor results. The Super Eagles currently sits 5th in Group C of the World Cup qualifiers. With 10 days to the kickoff of the AFCON 2025 qualifiers, the NFF is expecting Labbadia, whose 20-year coaching career has been exclusively in the German Bundesliga, to turn things around. Despite Labbadia's experience, his choice comes with reservations.
I've looked through the man's profile so far. Well, he might be another journeyman. I don't want it to be so, but he's not been conversant with African football, and in the catalogue of coaches in Europe, even in Germany, his name, to me, doesn't ring bell. But since he's here, we want to pray he succeeds.
The task ahead is also quite daunting for someone who has never worked in Africa.
He have experience for the European team, but he don't have experience for the African Nations Cup, African team, and World Cup qualifier. But we believe that the people that we have in the home-based coaches are going to support him to make sure we get it right.
The coach, it doesn't matter if he has not coached any African country. A coach is a coach. If he knows his tactic, if he get his tactic right, if he know the players, if he use the players well, I think they can perform.
You don't just appoint a new coach that does not know anything about the Nigerian football, and you expect the coach to excel. You must know the players. You must be a coach that knows the players, and their various attitudes. And for us, because we no longer have a football ideology in Nigeria, it will be difficult for a coach to adopt a pattern that the players will follow.
Labbadia will lead the Super Eagles in the AFCON 2025 match against the Cheetahs of Benin Republic at the Nest of Champions in Uyo on the 7th of September. This will be quickly followed by an away fixture against the Amavubi of Rwanda in Kigali on the 10th. The pressure on him, no doubt, begins from day one.
The situation is really bad. We will now depend on the will of the various players. Otherwise, Nigeria will not qualify for the World Cup. If they bring in players that will go there to say, we die for the country, we'll be able to do that. But with what I'm seeing, most of these players, because of the kind of money they earn, they don't want unnecessary injuries, and they don't even. Most of them will not even care whether we qualify or not. It's a very bad situation. And our players must change their attitude.
Me, I think they have to work more harder. It's not like they are not working hard. They are working hard, but they have to work more harder and pray that the luck is with them. Because we have not been scoring goals. We all know we have not been scoring goals. And to score goals, you need all the team to put 110%. So I wish the new coach all the best, and he should push the player, because we have to be at the World Cup. So we can't miss it. So he has to do everything, push the players, and make sure that we qualify.
Whoever that is going to be working from behind should please ensure he gives this man the honest assistance, so that we win this match and be on a very big footing going into the qualifiers. Remember, this same Benin beat us in the World Cup qualifier. So if we should slack and they beat us again, and now they've been emboldened, we can beat them even in their backyard. So it will be unheard of. So we want to appeal to every stakeholder in Nigerian sports to ensure to ensure that Nigeria qualifies for the Nations Cup 2025.
The German has managed several clubs in his home country, but his most recent stint ended in April 2023 when he was sacked by VfB Stuttgart after the team fell to the bottom of the table. As a player, Labbadia had a successful career, including topping the scorers chart for Bayern Munich in the 1992-1993 Bundesliga season with 14 goals across all competitions. As he takes on his new assignment with the Super Eagles, a good performance and positive results are just what could convince as many doubters that he is the man for the job. The Abuja Cricket Association has kick-started its Project Revive Cricket in the FCT. The association held a one-day seminar for school administrators, including principals, coaches, and sports masters. The theme for the seminar is casting the vision and building partnerships. Chairman of the association, Emeka Onyema, again emphasized the importance of the school, the Revive Cricket Abuja project, while also calling for more collaboration with critical stakeholders in ensuring that cricket is included in the curriculum in secondary schools.
Sports is synonymous with education. We cannot just go to school and coach these children without giving them a pathway of why they are being coached. So that is why we are seeking for this partnership, and why we call the theme of this event casting the vision and building partnerships. This partnership is going to be between the association, the Department of Education, the Ministry of Education in FCT in one hand, the schools in another hand, and then the FCT Sports Department.
Oyema further highlighted benefits of cricket to a growing child as he also laid emphasis on sports as a business. On his part, technical consultant of the project, Olisa Igwati, urged participants to seize the opportunity in the offing in investing in cricket.
Cricket is based on kinetics. You do parapsychology, you do nutrition, the stability of existence, public speaking, financial involvement, mathematics of life, statistics. So it's a huge thing, no? Cricket has a lot of things. Someday, that boy, Kenya School, sir, will be me. I want to reproduce myself in them, so that we walk tall and chin up.
The 3-day seminar for coaching and games masters follows the administrative seminar. The FCT Cricket Association donated equipment to participating schools to kickstart the project, which will be followed by the construction of practice nets in 4 of the 12 selected schools. And that's sports. Many thanks for watching. I am Lai Lawal.
Grab your seats and join us on the most fascinating 60-minute infotainment journey, showing on your favorite TV channel, Africa Independent Television, AIT. Analysis on topical national issues, news, sports, and entertainment are on the menu. It's a show you do not want to miss. It is The Sunday Show.
In recent time, really, we have noticed that both in hospital and even out of the hospital, we have had instances in this country where people just slump, and before they get to the hospital, they lose their lives. And these are all things that are related to heart issues. Now, it's very important for people to understand that regular checkups is very, very vital in trying to identify some of these things as early as possible. The commonest cause really is what is known as acute coronary syndrome, maybe in a layman's term, what we call heart attack. Heart attack occurs when there's a problem with supply of blood to the heart, and you now have the heart muscle now being starved of blood, and that will really lead to heart attack. Now, It's important to recognize that there are certain things that contribute to this. Most of the times the physicians or cardiologists will tell you we have modifiable factors and non-modifiable factors. We have things like diabetes, things like hypertension, things like hyperlipidemia, that is in layman's terms, high level of cholesterol in the blood. These are things that can be modified, and that's why they are classified as modifiable, meaning that you can control your hypertension, you can control your diabetes, you can control your cholesterol level, you can control, if you are a smoker, you can stop cigarette smoking. If you take alcohol, you can stop that. If you live a sedentary life, you can try as much as possible to engage in some exercises. These are the things that will lead to the reduction of these issues of heart attack and sudden death. A cardiothoracic surgeon, I train to operate on the heart and all structures in the chest. And as a cardiothoracic surgeon, I do open heart surgery. And what open heart surgery entails is that you open the chest, you cannulate the heart, meaning that you connect the heart to a heart-lung machine. There's a machine that performs the function of the heart and lung. So you connect the patient to that machine, and after that, you arrest the heart, meaning that you stop the heart. You make the heart to stand still. And in that instance, now you can operate on the heart, finish whatever you're doing, and restart the heart, and gradually wean the patient from the heart-lung machine. And there are so many heart conditions that can be managed by this. And of course, open heart surgery is not limited to only stopping the heart. There are newer technologies now where you still operate on the heart while the heart is still beating, using some other innovations and equipments. But basically, as a heart surgeon, what we do is we operate on the heart. Either in beating, whether the heart is beating, or we stop the heart and operate and restart it thereafter. It's important for us to realize, first of all, the impact of medical tourism on our economy as a country. I did part of my training outside Nigeria, and when I was training, I saw how Nigerians used to troop. Now, the smallest example I can give is that when you travel out, apart from visa fee, flight tickets, treatments, investigations, and all that, you also have to pay hotel, you have to buy food, you have to buy water, you have to use their transport and all that. And you must go with somebody that will look after you. So if you add this cost all together, it is huge. I think we are losing money in billions to medical tourism. Now, for heart surgery, before now, a lot of Nigerians travel out for heart surgery, but I can tell you now, we even have a registry. We call it Nigerian Heart Registry, where anybody in Nigeria can access the registry online. Once you Google it, you see it, Nigerian Heart Registry. You see the number of heart surgeries that are carried out in Nigeria. You see the outcome of the surgeries. You see institutions where these surgeries are carried out across Nigeria, ranging from Sokoto, Kano, Abuja here, Lagos, Ile-Ife. There are quite a number of centers, especially in Lagos. In Lagos alone, I think there should be maybe close to 5-6 centers that are carrying out open heart surgery.
And they are all done for free?
They are not for free.
Okay.
Sure, not for free.
Okay.
Yeah, last year, 2023, we conducted some heart surgeries here in Zenith. That was actually the first time we were doing heart surgeries here in Zenith. We operated on 4 patients. Those ones were free because we look at it as our corporate social responsibility. Yeah.
Or you can say that again, with entertainment and sports. And of course, personality of the week. We draw the curtain on the show today. Please continue to share your views and opinions on our social media handles. We shall see you again next week, same time, same station.
So what are the plans for the week?
It's going to be a very busy one.
We just started the new year, so we should have plans for the week.
It's going to be a very busy one.
Busy?
Yes.
Busy with work?
Busy with work, with making money.
But you always want me to spoil you.
Oh, yeah. If we don't make money, how do you spoil me?
Okay,
I'm not a greedy person.
So let's make the money. Let's make the money before I spoil you.
Oh, yeah, but we are going to make the money together while I keep it. How about that?
Okay, you keep it.
Yes.
And you use it to us. You use it for us to spoil you.
That's true.
You use it for us to spoil you.
All right, everyone. Do have a wonderful week. Fulfilled one at that. Bye.
Enjoy yourselves.